Marketing campaign complete. Something allegedly happened.
Welcome back to 2 Point Museum. I'm Ivory Toucan and we are back in the mountain museum that is Pointy Mountains. So we're pausing the Let's Play to currently rebuild our museum from the ground up today, and it is a big one. Basically, we got to the point in the campaign where we needed to get enough guests to reach the knowledge goal of the the fifth star, but the previous design we had wasn't really cutting the mustard, nor was it really designed to look good, and that's kind of what we're all about here. So that is the aim of today's build. Some additional context for those who may be tuning in for the first time. First of all, welcome in. Now, this speed build, as I said, is technically a part of our Pointy Mountains campaign Let's Play series. So if you are interested in how that plays out so far, you can check out the full Let's Play series. I'll be sure to link it in the description below. But more importantly, we've actually been doing these rebuilds and redesigns for every museum in the game. So if there is a specific museum you're looking for inspiration on, be sure to subscribe and check out the playlist of all the other designs so far. Now, we're all about keeping our builds nice and relaxed here though, so I'll let you enjoy this build from here. Grab yourself a cup of tea, sit back and enjoy the sweet sounds of 2 Point Radio. I'll see you all in the live play soon to give you the grand tour.
to the Cheesy Gubbins family of snacks. Cheesy Gubbins Zero. 0 calories, 0 cheese. 0 actual point. is a message from 2 Points Department of Culture. Every day, the county's museums are finding new exhibits.
Wow.
And learning more and more about everything. Oh, I see. No, sorry, one more time. Visit a 2 Point museum today. Enlightenment starts here.
Freezing summers, Arctic winters, 23-hour nights. The perfect destination for sun haters and hibernation lovers alike. Receive the warmest welcome, as long as the sub-zero temperature doesn't get you first. Visit Svalbard, the coolest place on Earth. Literally.
If you need more cash and fewer questions, then you need Swindles. Other loan companies will have you jumping through hoops. But we're here to make sure our sky-high rates are in reach for everyone. Swindles. It's so easy. It's like you're robbing us. ice on the floor. Robo-janitor! Dryer on the fritz. Robo-janitor! The Robo-janitor is designed to fix absolutely everything, with some major exceptions. Oh, Robo-janitor, what would we do without you?
You would live in your own filth.
Yes, I suppose we would. Robo-janitor, coming soon from Bungle Technologies. Under this ceaseless sun, the vegetation thrives, but everything we have is spoiled. Return to a world of legend and lamb chops with even bigger steaks. The greengrocer grows too strong. Age-old enemies will meet again. You can't stop him this time! Meat Wizard! Meat Wizard and the Rotten Beef, coming eventually to the Bungle Button Master. Where the games be happening.
New to the Crumley non-meat, non-veg, non-taste range, it's Crumley Crumb Pie. A delicious crumble base packed with sumptuous powdery breadcrumbs and topped with Crumley's patented mix of singed butter, sugar and flour ensures each mouthful is packed with stodgy blandness.
Oh.
So don't settle for crumbs. Have a Crumley Crumb Pie instead. Just like Mama used to make.
Don't sweat through the fiery days of summer. Fight back and relax with the Frost Dragon cooling system. It's a breath of fresh, frozen air. Keep your friends cold and your extremities colder with the Frost Dragon cooling system. Coming soon from Bungle Technologies.
Can you hear the grease saturating your food as it cooks? Can you feel your arteries clogging as you eat? Then degrease your diet with the Bungle Wind Oven. Now with 50% crispier air for that patented Bungle crunch. The Bungle Wind Oven. Cut the fat, not the crunch.
Holistics took roughly 20 of the most expensive ingredients on the market and said, hey, what's not to like? With that many ingredients, it's bound to help you. The whole you, any way you want. It's a fragrance. It's an engine coolant. It's a Holistics lifestyle. Imagine a place filled with things you could never afford. Whoa! Countless, priceless artifacts from every corner of the world. Oh, locked away for safekeeping. Well, keep imagining. Oh, Jumbo Museum. The museum for big spenders. Get this man a cold drink and a chair to sit at. His blood's gone lumpy and his moustache has fallen off. Witness supernatural mysteries too ridiculous to believe. Thursdays at 9 on live TV. Somewhere.
If you love Milkmaid milkshakes, then you'll lap up the new Milkmaid flavoured milk range. A crazy concoction of flavours that'll have your taste buds purring for more. Single cream. Double cream. Half cream. Clotted cream. You won't believe the variety of flavours on offer. Milkmaid flavoured milk. Now that's good milk.
Not technically milk.
The heating's broken again.
Before you buy a new boiler, stop. Get the Pumpatron 6000 heat pump instead. Simply strap yourself in and start pumping. The more you pump, the more you feel the burn. Double bonus. The Pumpatron 6000. You'll get so warm pumping it up, you won't even have to turn it on.
Okay, so here we are. I've had this running for about 10 minutes now or so, just to kind of get everything back into place, all the guests back on the map properly, and to kind of check for any chinks in the armor, you know, make sure it's all running smoothly. I did also do some filming for another video beforehand as well, but in that time the knowledge, as you can see, has already shot up to 14, which is just insane at how quickly that kind of shot up. It's kind of settled down now as the guests kind of start to filter back in and filter around all the different exhibits. You can see there's sort of a crowd around certain places. But overall, you can see we've had some big changes with this map. I'm very happy with how this is turning out so far. Really embracing the snow and winter aesthetics for the most part of it all overall. I really do love these big tents. Shame you can't really put them really, you know, like the decorations are as close as I can get, but, you know, it'd be nice if we can blend them in a bit more, you know, maybe move a few things in towards it, like we have with the Viking longship over here, which I will do something with the ship in the next episode. Yeah, look, 18 already in the space of talking. So we're likely to get the 5th star in this sort of tour, but really making this the primary fantasy museum. I've done that in 2 different sections so far, with the fairy tale marketplace and then the mythical gear exhibit sort of showcase area, which is more like museum aligned sort of look to it rather than the immersiveness of the fantasy marketplace. So I'll tell you what, let's start there then. Actually, you can see we've got lots of white tiles dotted around, and this is because I've got a few exhibits I have in mind that I want to include here. Most of those, you know, I've got some out already on the helipad, so what we can do is we can probably open those up quick. Let's open this one. So fantasy's actually, because I want to have a second one this side over here, and we have our little area over here, little seating area. Guests are complaining about food, but because these guests haven't gone round to the cafe, which is around here at the moment, I think I will look to add in a secondary door when we come to work on the next area. But yes, we've got lots of different spaces for other exhibits. I'm going to go for some more fantasy ones and some more supernatural ones as well, like the ghost dusting equipment, as well as a few of the botany plants. We've had the new Angry Birds rift as well, so I might even look to weave in one of those, or at least one of the new botany plants there, like the chocolate ones from the spring update, which are very, very cool. We'll have a quick look at the sticker book here. So yes, we've got the eggplant and then the cocoa flagon plant. I think they can work quite nicely. Prison ivy is another one I'm thinking of, and then possibly the cliffhanger plant as well. But then we've had the Digiverse. We've got the new Angry Birds exhibits, which will, you know, they've got the grassy look as well, which could tie in quite nicely with this little marketplace. So let's just have a little look around. I tried to picture this as a, you know, like a snapshot of this fairy tale fantastical world. Hence why we've got the supernatural elements with, you know, like the hand and then the ghost dusting equipment. And again, with the decorations blending in those. I do need some more assistance for these. I'll tell you what, it might be worth hiring for the hot dog stand, because we have guests already complaining about family unfriendly. Yeah, I'd rather not have you. See if we can get one with a better trait. I do need a extra marketing assistant, so hire him as well. Put him in there. Just make sure he doesn't do anything else. Again, getting sidetracked with everything else that happens in the game. But we have a nice little market area here. We have the space for the staff to kind of come in. And again, the kiosks will be manned eventually, and it will help with guests. We've got the goods of the sellers. We've got some fantastical beasts here. And then we have some more statues dotted around, as well as the jumbo thingy. Again, just to kind of help tie it all together to make it feel more like the world. Hence why we've got some fences, trees dotted around, and then the other statues on this side and then over here as well. So we are hoping to make some money out of this place as well, hence why we've got some tours set up. But I do like how this has kind of come together. Like I said, I will showcase properly with more screenshots in the next episode that we do. We're about to get that 5th star already. Wow, that came up quick. All because of the redesign and making sure we have the knowledge in a good place. New bauble-fish, nice. So, from the fairy tale village, we move through. We have the bathrooms either side. I thought I've tried it in my Memento Mile build beforehand. And I thought I'd give it a go here with having different bathrooms. We've got a male bathroom and a female bathroom. And just to kind of see how that pans out for a little while without having staff in there as well. You can see guests are hungry. So we do definitely need an additional kiosk. And let's have a look. Coffee increases happiness. Yeah, go on then. We'll go with you. You can work on that one there. Oh.
Welcome in. We've got breaking news for you this morning, as the missing curator of the 2 Point Museum has been found. Frozen in ice in the Pointy Mountains, with their job currently occupied. They'll be staying up there to work in the Pointy Mountains, showing that all that ends well is, in fact, well.
I'll maybe jump there a little bit. Thanks, Hayley Atwell. But the 5th star, here we go. So you found your predecessor. Brilliant. Quite the last hurrah. I think it's only fair you're both able to apply for the position. Nothing wrong with a bit of honest competition. I will take that. Dried Bigfoot statue unlocked. Oh, wow. Statue. Nice. And 150 kudos, which we definitely do need because we are running low with all these updates. New things coming in. Right, let's just have a look at this statue then because... let's have a look. I think it's in the general theme. Bigfoot statue. Oh, it's not as big as I thought it would be. But very cool. Look at this. We're going to put this big boy... Let's put one right here for now. The Multramatics on fire. Oh, do I not have a janitor trained with... I forgot about that. I think I don't have a science expert. That's why. Yeah, that's why. Don't have a science expert. But is on his way. So we're going to hire a science expert as well to make sure we... can restore that and avoid fires in the future. We'll get to that bit of the museum. Darn all over the place. This is not a good start. Anyway, right. Where were we? We were going through from the fantasy side of things. You'd go from this part of this corner of the fantasy magical world and you move through into my favourite part of the build, which is the alien snowy planet world. So it's still very much a work in progress. Again, we've got placeholders for other exhibits. Specifically, I want to get a bunch more of the Aurora Arborealises because they will... We'll close that down now. Because I'd like to have sort of colourful, supernatural, otherworldly forest vibe going on. And you saw in the speed build, I did originally try this outside. Do I have a wildlife expert? Hang on. Sorry, I've just seen those notifications pop up. Yeah. Okay, fine. Ignore that. So yeah, so you saw in the speed build at the start, I tried to build it outside, and while I think it could have still worked out there, I think it's the ability to change the flooring and the wallpaper that kind of ties it a bit more together. And that's something we can't do outside because of, you know, we've only got the 2 flooring options outside, which are the... Oh my god, this is... Yeah, I forgot about the filters here. Yeah, so we've just got the stone tiles and then the snow as well, the actual base terrain. Which I think is fine, but it just wasn't quite working for me, hence why I decided then to stop all of that and move it inside. Would love to have the pine trees from the habitat available outside, so then you can then do that instead. But we can't do that because you can't use them out of the habitats. And I think that would have helped tie it a little bit more together, building out that sort of alien forest world sort of thing I was going with. Because it was just looking like it was too... Like the decorations just weren't really quite close enough as I kind of thought. And yeah, I think the flooring definitely does help kind of make it a little bit more otherworldly looking. So yeah, we also have the Digiverse Rift, the Revenge of the Savage Planet. The new... Let's have a look there. It's botany. These plants, these guys, the big fungal balls. I think these would work really well here as well. So I think I'll look to expand that out a bit more. Blending in with, again, the cool purples and the blues for this section as a whole. And I think that will just really kind of bring it to life a little bit more. It's looking really good though. So if we kind of zoom in a bit more, we've got the heaters. So these rocks are now unfortunately melted, the snow pillars, because this is a humid, hot climate plant, should I say, sorry. Which, again, the colours work, and I think it's fine with it how it is at the moment. It does feel a little bit tropical, but I don't know. I think it still works for now. I might change my mind when I get the big fungal moors in, and then maybe a bit more of the arborealis trees. I just love these. These are so great. But we do have to watch out for, so we look at temperature, you can see, again, because we've had to have, because it's cold in Pointy Mountains, we've had to have 3 heaters instead to keep them satiated and happy. But we have our little science expedition gone wrong over here on this otherworldly planet. So this is the... Yeah, a little morbid, but I thought it was quite fun kind of playing around with this space exploration expedition that had gone awry. Again, it's one of those sort of places where the wildlife is against you with the plants that are alive, the ghost plants here, obviously the copy blight plants, you know, bringing in that sort of vibe of like, you know, something is not right here. Oh, these... Oh, okay, I wonder why these are great. These are the snowy ferns, and they've melted as well. I didn't know they did that. That's very cool. Yeah, because I was like, that looks... Yeah. Okay, so the snowy ferns also melt around the area. Okay, nice to know that. I guess it makes sense. Does the same for the rocks and everything. But yes, and then in terms of the general wildlife of this place, we have, see, the frozen bees. I had to put in an extra freezer over here just to make sure that these weren't causing too much of a problem. We have the Mondo beasts. Mono beasts over here as well. And then, you know, frozen out, we have the snowy howl as well as the ice crystals. And then the frozen cave person. Perhaps the frozen cave person would have been one of the explorers as well. But yeah, I kind of went a bit nuts with the storytelling aspect with this one as well. We have a nice staff access round the side. I have seen staff using it. We need to sort out the pathing a little bit more, the flooring here. Staff do obviously come around here, at least anyway, but it's more of like for the botany staff. We are going to add in also some more terrariums. Possibly cave. I haven't quite decided yet. We've got this one filled with frostbite snakes and snowball moss, and then we've got the blue hedgehog in here, which I'm going to move over some of these other ones so we can keep breeding, because we've got the hutch in here as well. But yeah, so we've got space for the terrariums. Again, creating that sort of terrarium walkthrough, which a narrow space, but again, I think it works nicely with making something a bit different. Over here, I can't quite remember what I was going to put here. Possibly another tree. I think that's what I was going with, to, you know, kind of have a staggered sort of purples throughout. The cave decorations from the wildlife, the cave decorations from the Zoozeum DLC also, I think, are the MVPs of this area, because they kind of give that pop of colour. And again, being able to change up to the purples and blues and the cooler blues and the whites as well, really kind of tie all together. Yeah, I was going for that otherworldly vibe anyway. I have kind of decided to put some exhibits here. I'm not quite sure if these are going to be more trees or possibly the moors now, at least. Anyway, there you go. There's a staff member using the corridor. Love to see it. But yeah, I didn't really want guests necessarily clogging this area as much. So I might just limit this to one. So then staff can then still use the corridor area and the space around here. I don't know why they're going all the way around there. Guys. Going all the way around to see that. Yeah, sometimes the guests in this game. So, and then back out in the open area. Oh, jumpy game. We've got the entranceway. Again, I had another one of these, so I thought I'd put this down. It would be nice to have a big statue centerpiece for this opening of the museum. But the idea is the guests can come through, walk round, and loop round here to go through this side. But that's why I think I might add an additional door in when we come to building the next building over. But just kind of kept it simple around here. Again, you couldn't really do much with the pathing options. Thought I'd throw down some footprint decals, partly for the decoration rating for this thing, but also it kind of helps tie in that, you know, staff and people are moving backwards and forwards. I got a bit bored adding them down, so I was like, that'll do for now. We've then got our box fox. I think I might add in the mountain goats over here, because then A, it fills up the space, B, it means you can use the pine trees to help kind of blend it back all together a little bit more. We do have as well, possibly, might even look at with, again, update 8.0 that we've rarely touched on in other places. Maybe throw some cherry blossom trees around it. Could add a nice bit of colour. Yeah. Go with those for now. Kind of works. But we have our box foxes over here. They're yet to breed. I think because, yeah, they're both males. That's why they haven't bred. We do have box fox. Here we go. 250. Female. That will soon change. Let's upgrade this as well whilst we're here. But yeah, so I've gone for a really dense habitat. We've got a nice walkway path for the animals and then also for the staff to come through. Really making use of the centerpieces, and then again just having all the trees around as well. What we're going to do is, because we've got a great one there, yeah, we're going to get rid of you. Send. Oh no, hang on. That wasn't the plan. No. Okay, well, you'll go to inventory anyway, and then we'll just have pristine ones. That's what we want. We want the pristine. But yeah, we've gone heavy on the trees. I just love the pine trees, and it kind of helps bring in this forest sort of vibe. And then we've got the big mountain, Snowden mountain tents either side as well. You know, bringing the museum to life a little bit more. I mean, I might end up getting rid of them in the long term, but for now, I think they're great. And we do have lots more space. We've got all of this still to go. So yeah. So then, yeah, as you come through this side, past the box foxes, we go through the aquarium tunnel. It's a bit narrow. I might look to move it back maybe a little bit, but it seems to be okay for now, because the idea is I want guests being able to view on this side, and you know, they can obviously view on that side this secondary tank. But again, I want something small and condensed, because we've got lots of big plans for this museum. Yeah, and then we had, when I loaded it up one night, we had the door situation where it was letting me originally to say it could go right there, but then it was like, hang on a minute, what's happened? I think it might have happened after the update. I don't know what that banner's doing right there. Let's maybe move that to there now. So yeah, so we've got a bit of a gap here, which is a bit annoying, because then guests can come around to this side, blocking the staff path, but it is what it is. I think it's fine. We've got a little tiny gift shop. Nothing special. Again, just embracing the fantasy vibe here. Got sponsorship as well. We're getting lots of mail coming in. going big on the decorations throughout this build, you know, kind of bringing that immersiveness into it all. So hence why we've got the barrels, the flags, the banners, and everything else all where we can. We are going to look to add in a self-checkout counter in here as well. I've built the ticket booth, so let's put the ticket booth out in a minute. We'll do that in a minute when we get to it. And I love these little walls, fantasy walls, and literally just putting them against the wall because it adds a bit more depth and just that additional variation to it all as well. So then we come out into the main museum feeling section. We start with the marine life area. I love this little arcade area over here as well. The blue lights really work really well. We've got toilets over here, additional interactive entertainment over this side. Again, like this is where I think this works really well, is the walls against the actual wallpaper. Again, it just elevates it a little bit more and it really works. But we have our Wetlandian area, again keeping it very minimalist and more rigid and exact, you know, contrasting massively the immersive side on the other side of the building itself, and just really letting the exhibits do the heavy lifting here. You know, so we've got the Wetlandian stuff, and I'm going to add another one in here. I think if we can get the crown, that would be nice to add in. And we've obviously got the... Oh, yeah, this is going to be infecting that now. Yeah, so when I put these out, the radius was very small, but the recent update has made them very big. So this is going to get the wrong buzz bonus, but that's fine. We'll deal with it. I like the symmetry side of things with this bit. We then have another immersive build here with the interactive sound. We've got the Kraken. Very cool. Like here, you go in there and you hear the sounds of under the sea. And then my second favourite bit of this build, well, second, third, I think the fantasy marketplace is probably my second, but well, I like it all. It's all great. I very much enjoyed this build. It took a while to kind of get going with what we wanted to do, especially once we kind of moved everything inside. But anyway, this bit, I very much enjoyed doing a bit more of a museum side of things, which, again, if you've seen recent builds of mine, I do tend to embrace a lot more of the immersive side of things. So it was nice to flex my creative muscles a little bit more with keeping it more in line with the museum side of things. So we have the big corridor. Again, I went backwards and forwards a lot, didn't I, with the flooring. With seeing what worked. We've got the memorials, because again we've lost a lot of people in this museum, and there's probably scope we're going to lose a few more, so we'll have to add in a few extras. But we've got the mythical gear, we've got the dwarven devices as well on one end, and then on the other end is where we have them all activated. What I do have to do is I do have to move this closer to be able to interact with these, and we will be doing that because we do want to get the gems from the geodes here as well. So that is the aim, but we're going to stock up a few more. I don't think I've got any more geodes. No, I don't have any more, so we'll get a few more, grind out some more geodes. We'll do that in the next episode. We've got the shinies as well, but we need the shiny geodes. So we've got 1 and 2 here. We need to build the knowledge up on these as well, let alone on the geodes themselves, because I've only recently started getting the gems as well. So we've got 2, 1, and then this one here, we've got 2, and I haven't even done the shiny geode one yet to get the Fates 020, which, tell you what, why don't we do that? No, we won't do that now. We'll do that in the next episode. But again, keeping it very scientific and exact in this sort of area, hence why we've got the Multimatic down as well, and it helps with getting the camouflage cargo item, which we've got 5 still left over. And we might look to build some more science exhibits. I think because we've got all this excess space. Possibly do something over here. Maybe throw down some more science exhibits. I'm not sure yet. But for now, we will leave it how it is. I might even, tell you what we might do. Let's put down. There you go. Put down the Yeti. For now, the Yeti Elder. And then we have the cafe. This was just a copy from the Silverbottom Park cafe we have. Although I've added, shortened it down because it was big. Added in the windows and the waterfalls here, which is just really cool effect. Yeah, brilliant. Love it. Love it. So yeah, so guests can sit down and enjoy that. I love having a little something different with the buildings and the rooms. So hence why we've taken out that block there. So yeah, and then we have the staff area. Nothing special. Oh yeah, I need to change the outfit of this guy. Yeah, so we're just changing the outfit there because it's as YouTube user Danny S971 pointed out in a previous episode, the reason they do that weird walking, I mean it's different when he's got the boots on, but it's because of the explorer outfit. Oh, that was a criminal. That's where you were going. So yeah, so we need to make sure we watch out for that and make sure any of the staff don't have that because it does actually make them move slower. So thank you, Danny, for that tip. It was very helpful. And there we go. There's another one there. Yeah, so they just move a lot slower. So I'll tell you what, let's put you in the spacesuit. There we go. See, already moving quicker. So yeah, so it's a good outfit. It's fun. It was funny, but I just had no idea what it was. I figured it out, and then Danny kindly pointed that out in a previous episode. So thank you once again. But the staff area, nice little central hub. We have wildlife centre, staff room. Nothing exciting massively. We've got a little ticket area, which we, like I said, we will put down the. Where is it? Is it in here? I think it's here. Self-service ticket machine. We'll put this down. Where do we want to put this? No, because we like the staff going back there. We're just going to put it here for now. I know that's in front of the window, but it's what it is. Progress and all that. I just kind of, not that we really have any queues anyway, but we'll have it down there as an option for guests. We're also going to build the self-service checkout counter whilst we do that. And then upgrade this bad boy. So that is really what we've got here. Nice central staff area. And then at the moment, I've just put this down for now because I had it out, but I could not think for the life of me what to kind of do with setting this out. And I think it will be good to wait for the next part of the build to really flesh out the outside of this space. Maybe add in some more habitats. We will see. Might even look to add in a few more of the Aurora Borealises as well. So yeah, but I did like how you can actually move this into a bit more of the decoration, the tent, the hut, the yurt even, should I say. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to embed it into there, so like it's still being excavated. Yeah, you guys admire the Wetlandian longship. So, again, right, plan then, because we've got lots of space of the museum to unlock. We also have lots more exhibits to put out, including like the ruins. We've got some ghosts. I kind of want to get some ghosts here as well. So the plan is... Oh, yeah, you can go. Sorry, bud. Thank you for your service and your time in our museum. Oh, there's more back there as well. So what I'm thinking is we're going to do a sort of dungeon hall. Again, keeping the fantasy focused area. So we've got the dragon and all of that. And embracing a bit more of the supernatural side of things with the fantasy exhibits. And create a sort of dungeon dragon hall area up in this building. Have some more outdoor habitats, I'm thinking, as well. Yeah, it's kind of nice to have the tie between the two. Oh yeah, we've got a fantasy market We've got a fancy marketing campaign going on at the moment. We are going to have some more ruins. We're going to have some more of the Digiverse stuff, I think, brought in here as well as the science. I do actually quite like the science exhibits a lot more the more I play with them and the more I use them. So I think that could work quite nicely with some of the fantasy exhibits as well. We're going to have obviously lots of geodes as well. And, you know, we can look to embrace a few more of the fantasy exhibits, not just in this area, but in another building. So we'll have this building. We'll unlock a few more. We'll add a nice long building this side, a nice long building this side. And just kind of mix things up. Maybe add another building in this corner and another one over there, because it helps with these massive museums to break up the size of the buildings, as we've learnt in our Memento Mile build. And that kind of really helps to keep the lag down quite a bit. I'm not sure if I like those trees now that I'm looking at even more, but we'll see. So yeah, so that is really where we're going to go with the next episode. We're going to build out the dungeon hall as the first bit, and then the outdoor space here next. And then we will then look to expand it further. So if there are any themes you want to see explored in this museum, let me know down in the comments. But that is it for this one. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's lots more 2 Point Museum content on the way, and lots more to this Pointy Mountains build as well. So what we'll do is, I think we'll do one more episode of a speed build, so just to kind of get going, and then the episode afterwards we will then do a bit more of a let's play and continue that through, so you guys can kind of see my thought process and how we go about doing everything in the biggest map in the game. We've also got to remember that by the time of recording this, we still don't know what the DLC is, which is supposedly coming around, you know, the Easter mark. We still yet to have any information about it. So that's just me speculating. I don't actually know when the date is for it or what it even is. But once we got that new DLC up and running, we can then look to weave in the new DLC exhibits into this build too. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.